Welcome, dudes and dudettes. So, bit of a new, different type of thing of filming because thanks to my father, giving me these great birthday gifts to help out my channel, make it look a lot better and better quality and stuff. So hopefully you guys like it. And let's get on to the show. Alrighty, so Clay Helton, USC head coach, named the team captains for this year. Not surprising, they're all seniors. Marvell Tell, the safety, linebacker Porter Gustin, linebacker Cameron Smith, and the center Toa Lobanon. Pretty awesome. Great to have senior leadership finally for USC. It just seems like a lot of these guys leave early. So sad that Adoree Jackson and Juju Smith left early, but of course they are flourishing in the NFL. And then also we had a bit of injury news for the Chargers. Casey Hayward is still being held out excuse me, for this game against the Saints tomorrow. It's going to be tough. Hopefully it's not anything too big. It is the second straight game that he has missed, so kind of sucks at the moment. But for another bit of USC news on their quarterback situation, again, we won't find out until next week officially, which is game week, because they'll play next Saturday, not this Saturday, against UNLV. So hopefully we'll get to know our first string quarterback in the beginning of that week, and they'll be able to get first team reps and be able to be prepared normally for the game. And hopefully that doesn't lead to an upset against UNLV, which I'm kind of hoping to. And some more pretty big news about Cam Smith. He did make the second team All-American list, which is pretty awesome before the season, but he does want to make the first team, so he's gonna have to have like a pretty great year, like almost his freshman year that he had before he got injured, to be able to get that again. And then also with news with the Chargers, they did sign running back Terrell Watson. I don't know why they have enough running backs as it is, even though they only had 2 playing last week because of some minor injuries, but I'm sure if it was the regular season, those guys would have been available to play. Just surprising that they did sign someone like that. But also a player for Duke, he missed the last 2 games in Canada because he got hit in the face, so he had surgery for an orbital fracture or something like that around his eye. And apparently he's still going to be ready for the start of, preseason and all the extra practices going on right before the season. So that's good. It's good news. He's a pretty good shooter, in my opinion. He's a good sophomore coming back for Duke. So hopefully he can still have continued success while he's there. So the NBA rookies were asked a bunch of questions about their fellow rookies, seeing who's going to be more successful or better shooters, stuff like that. And of course, the one who's going to have the most success they all voted for was Wendell Carter Jr., the rookie for Chicago out of Duke, which is pretty cool. But then also on the shooting, a couple of guys made it from my teams. So Svi Mikulik from the Lakers, he made it on there as like one of the top 2 or 3 guys. And then also Grayson Allen made it. Gary Trent Jr. made it out of Duke. That's pretty awesome to see. And then also the tight end for the Cleveland Browns, Randall Telfair. He hasn't really been there. And I think he played a little bit. No, that was Xavier Grimble. Sorry, the other tight end. You always get these guys mixed up. But yes, he was a player for the Cleveland Browns, but he has decided to retire. He did have some success, but I mean, who else is going to have as much success as you are going to have with the Browns? So it's kind of easy to have success there, but good luck to him, whatever he does, and congrats. And then also we had some other news, so let's go. yes, for some reason, the Raiders decided to give up their second round pick from last year, Oyemel Falu. They waived him. It's kind of interesting because he was such a high draft pick, and even I wanted him to be on the Chargers. But according to most likely John Gruden or some sources out there, that he really wasn't interested in playing football and didn't have, enough grit or spirit, or wasn't tough enough to play it. So that's why they ultimately decided to let him go. But apparently that was also questions and concerns for other teams during the draft process as well, which I never heard of during that time. So, Chargers do need a safety. Maybe he has a second chance, second coming, and wants to be able to be the best player at his position. And, Chargers have an opening for that. So we'll see how that goes. And then USC basketball is looking pretty high right now with Kevin Porter Jr. as their freshman coming in. He seems like he's going to do a lot of great things there, but probably even better things once he gets to the NBA, because it'll be a lot easier and a lot more space once he gets to the NBA. It's always fun to look at. And then also there's trying to see if there's a co-star, as they say, for LeBron James, like who's it going to be. Obviously Jimmy Butler today said that he wouldn't mind playing with LeBron once his Wolves contract is up, which I believe is after this season. Or they could also make a trade because, Deng and that coach over there really love each other, so that could help out the Lakers a lot, so they don't have to pay that much money for the next year after this. So there's also Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Kawhi Leonard. It's a number of guys that would be awesome to pair up with LeBron. You just never know what they're going to officially do and what they're going to want, whether to be the second to LeBron James for the next few years and eventually take over, or they just want to take over right now. So we'll see how this all develops. And yes, yesterday was Kobe Bryant's 40th birthday. It's really cool. Glad we got to hang out with you for so many of those years as you were a Laker. We almost lost you back in 07, but definitely glad that we were able to win 5 championships with you and go to, 7 or 8? Like 7 championships. So, which you really should have won, because they should have beat Detroit. They were just stooges at the time in 04, and then that first series against Boston in 08, they were missing Trevor Ariza and Andrew Bynum, who eventually came back the next year, and that's why we ended up killing Orlando Magic. But I don't know. Boston says they won that, so I guess we'll give it to them because they officially did win it. And then also I thought it was pretty funny to look back, because the day before, the 22nd, was my birthday, my 20th birthday. Yes, thank you for all the happy birthdays. But I was trying to see who other famous people were actually on my birthday as well. Pretty interesting group. Only one really major sports star, but few people to mention were like James Corden, who runs the CBS show. He's pretty okay. I don't mind him. I just wish he would kind of not take the ideas of another greater show in England called The Graham Norton Show, which kind of interviews all these different guests all at one time, and it works really well for him. And then of course he kind of just copied that same idea, brought it to America. But that carpool karaoke stuff is really cool, and a lot of the other stuff he does is pretty cool too. And Kristen Wiig, of course, obviously Bridesmaids and SNL, and she's a really cool chick. And then Randall Cobb was one of the main sports stars, the wide receiver for Green Bay Packers. I never knew we shared a birthday, so that was pretty cool. And then Giada Big Boobs from the Food Network. I don't really know how to say her last name, but Giada, that's kind of how people know her, and her major cleavage that she always shows. I don't know why. I'm trying to learn how to cook food here, but you keep showing all that stuff. And then also Richard Armitage, which a lot of people don't really know him, but one of his main, of course, because one of his main movies that he did was a trilogy. He was in The Hobbit. He was one of the main dwarves, but of course with all those prosthetics and makeup, you didn't really see him. But pretty cool actor. Hopefully he has more continued success. I know a lot of times he was in the running for Batman a few times, and seeing that Ben Affleck is going into rehab, I heard about today, is kind of sucky, so maybe he's up for it again. You never know. But thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. A lot of news. trying to do more of these videos where I get a bunch of news together instead of just having, little clips here and there every other day. And yes, thank you to my father for this whole setup, and I forgot to mention my stepmother also. Thank you very much for this whole setup. It's really awesome. It's really cool. I'm definitely gonna have a lot of fun trying to figure out new and inventive ways to do this, especially for my videos, which can use a little bit of spark, I know, just talking about sports, but looks pretty awesome so far, and very bright. And like I said again, thanks for watching, people.